Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Joaquim Couto. I'm a medical doctor and a health coach. And today I have a presentation for you about burnout. It is a very important issue because it is a condition that is very prevalent in Western countries. So let's go. Okay, so let us start. In France, they call burnout épuisement. But for me, it's quite a different meaning because you feel tired, épuisé en français, but after a few minutes or hours, you recover and you're back to your normal. But in burnout, it is like you feel you cannot continue with your life, that you really reach the limit and you cannot continue going on. So I prefer the term burnout because I think it is more expressive, it is more powerful, more forceful. Let us start with definition of burnout. Burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. This is a definition I obtained from ChatGPT, but as frequently happens, it's not the whole story. How do you know that you are in burnout? Because people get tired, fatigued. Is that burnout? Okay, so we move to the next slide. And what is very important, it is not only a prolonged stress, but also stress that prevents you from fulfilling your professional, social, or family duties as usual. So it is this incapacity or this difficulty that defines burnout. In this presentation, I have 5 messages for you that are so important. They really can change your life if you are under constant stress and in burnout or near burnout. The first message is that all people can be susceptible to burnout. It's not just vulnerable people, not just fragile people. Anybody can go into burnout just as an athlete gets tired during a race. Okay, your body and your mind suffer the impact of that effort. So it's a very important principle. All people are susceptible to burnout. The second message, it is that you can be in burnout without being aware of it. Okay, so maybe you're not sleeping well, maybe you are irritable, intolerant with the people around you, you're tired of your job, your productivity went down, okay? And we can always find explanations from what's going on. It's a problem with the boss, a problem with the wife or the husband, the kids, okay? The traffic in the morning. Okay, but really, what happens is that your body suffered from prolonged stress and you cannot perform as usually. The third message is that chronic stress and burnout always results in neurometabolic alterations. Burnout is not just a psychological situation or condition. No, every time you are stressed, your body also suffers and has metabolic alterations. This is a very, very important concept. The fourth message is that prevention is the best way to manage burnout. Before you get to your limit, okay, maybe you should try to prevent it. The fifth message and the last message in this presentation, it is that coaching is very important to help you out of a burnout or stressful situation. And just like almost top athlete, they have their coaches, okay, to help them out. Uh, Also, when you are in a frequent or permanent stress, okay, coaching can help you a lot to get out of that situation. I wrote an essay about burnout, and I compared it to the 30th kilometer of the marathon. Okay, these are famous athletes like Greta Waits, and what these people say is that the marathon starts at the 30th kilometer. Lots of people can make it up to the 30th kilometer, but after that, it really takes willpower and determination to continue and win the race. Okay? It's when you reach the 30th kilometer that you feel completely exhausted and your brain sends you the message, come on, stop, guy, you cannot continue, you cannot make it. But even when you reach the 30th kilometer, your body still has reserves, and you can pull on those reserves to overcome this barrier and run all the way to the end. Okay, I like this image because sometimes we talk about life as the rat race in the Western civilization, a constant stress to perform, work for objectives. Okay, so I think it's a very good metaphor to compare the nowadays the current life to a marathon. It's like every day we have to race to continue in this rat race. I really love this picture because it tells you what happened to human beings after the Industrial Revolution. Of course, it was fantastic. Production exploded, but we also suffered. And this is very important to understand burnout. Okay, this table compares a runner hitting the 30th kilometer wall and an individual in burnout. Okay, the stress is very similar. It's all about adrenaline and cortisol and glucose in the blood and how your muscles react and your mind copes with it. So this is a similar reaction. I got interested in stress and management of stress long ago when I was a resident in surgery in New York because major surgery is equal to major stress. And every surgeon knows that it should be addressed before, during, and after the surgery so that you can achieve success before preparing the patient for a major stressful event. Okay, if you do that through nutrition, through information you give the patient, support the patient can get through the family and friends, okay, you can cope with the surgery much better and have a good result. The same thing happens for a marathon runner and for person in burnout. Your body suffers, but you can sort of prevent it and sail through it so that you can continue with a happy life. It's very important to look for signs of burnout, and I'll go through this list. Then you can analyze it better. But really, persistent fatigue, sleep troubles, very important. Irritability, impatience, difficulty concentrating, memory loss, reduced attention, loss of motivation, a sense of inefficiency or inadequacy, very important. People in burnout sometimes they go into social isolation. They avoid colleagues, friends, or family. They have physical complaints, headaches, muscle tension, digestive troubles are very frequent. And sometimes people that are under stress, they resort to stimulants. Oh, let me take my coffee, okay, drinking, nicotine, medication. All of these are symptoms and problems with burnout. This other checklist is very important, but for the AR division in the companies, okay, they have to keep a watch on some symptoms and occurrences that can be a red light and say, well, this person might be under burned out or severe stress. Okay, and those signs the department knows very well. Repeated absenteeism, performance goes down, people have more conflicts. Okay, and the HR people have to check for the workload. Are we imposing an excessive workload on this worker? The deadlines can be accomplished. Okay, uh, we need regular breaks and all a proper social climate in the company, and recognize people that are putting on the effort. Okay, because without recognition, it is very difficult to go on putting long hours and in a highly productive environment. Okay, this is about the prevalence of burnout in Western countries and in France, where I am currently living. The prevalence of burnout is 14% of the working population, which I find absolutely astronomical. That means that about 2.5 million people might be under burnout. Of course, this has huge consequences: economical, health related problems, societal problems. So it is a problem that should be addressed very, very seriously. That is the purpose of this presentation. Okay, something interesting, the people that are at a higher risk of burnout, usually it is the middle management because they are under the pressure from the top, okay, and the entry level people, okay, at the top looks for results, the the lower level people they have to produce and work long hours to achieve those results, and the people in the middle they have to juggle between these two strata. Okay, it is very, very important for the people working in a corporation to know what is the strategy of the corporation. What goals are we trying to achieve? What is the vision? What is the mission? What are the values of the corporation, so that they can feel as a member of the team, all pulling in the same direction. And this meme is about two public officers leaving the Oval Office, and they don't know what the objectives are. Are we going to lower taxes or not? And the guy says yes and no. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, it's a very stressful situation for human beings when you have contradictory objectives. Okay, this is a bit of a futuristic um, slide. I think in the future we will be interviewed regularly by AI bots to check for those symptoms and make sure that everybody is aligned for the good of society. Good or bad, I think this is coming. Okay, a bit of philosophy over here. Descartes made a division between the mind and the body. And I think it's a very important division as a model of our mind, the way our mind works. Okay? It's not a realistic division, it does not exist, but in practice, okay, it is a good model. The problem it is that every time our mind is under stress, our body suffers. And we see a girl with arachnophobia, fear of spiders, and you see the body reaction. Okay, there are body changes. The heart beats faster, you sweat, you feel fear, panic, maybe. Okay, all those symptoms and signs, they have metabolic alterations in your body. Adrenaline shoots up, cortisol shoots up. So we have to really address this combination of psychological and physical alterations. Okay, this is something very well known. It's the body posture changes your metabolic status. Okay, if you take a very defensive attitude, okay, it's more difficult to face the adversities of life. And we know that if you take a more victorious posture, your testosterone goes up and cortisol goes down. But if you are very scary and defensive, your testosterone goes down, your cortisol goes up. So this is the connection between body and mind. How to address the psychological impact of burnout? Of course, psychotherapy, very important. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is very, very important to focus in the present moment. Sometimes you don't enjoy a nice day at the beach, your coffee in the morning, because your mind is already thinking about the workload, what you have to do, problems you have to face, people you have to talk to, maybe you don't like them. So you are multitasking, and when you go to your job, you're answering your boss, you're talking with your colleagues, maybe you are answering messages on the phone, on WhatsApp, answering your emails, reading reports, everything at the same time, and our brain cannot process so fast. That causes stress and disease. Meditation, very extremely important. It's not how long you do meditation every day, but that you do it regularly, not for a long period of time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's very important. And we know that after approximately 2 months of meditation, there are alterations in your brain. Okay, this is very, very important. If you do a magnetic resonance, okay, you see a before and after you start meditation. It strengthens your willpower also and improve your relationships. It's very good for to prevent burnout. Okay, but you also have to address the body problems. Okay, the cortisol level is one of the most important aspects because it's a hormone, a stress hormone. Okay, it goes up when you are stressed, it goes down when you are relaxed in peace of mind. But other minerals and like magnesium, zinc, calcium, they are all very important. But I think that for this part, this is where the coaching comes in, and you should get advice and management from people that are familiar with these problems. The metabolic syndrome is a condition that is nowadays completely recognized, and it is the result of very prolonged stress over the years. Okay, and it's diabetes, high blood pressure, excessive weight, usually around the abdomen, because of the cortisol and changes in the blood lipids. Okay, of course, suffice it to say, it's not good for your health. Huh? I propose a combined approach that I call the neurometabolic balance method. Okay, so somebody under permanent stress or already in burnout, they should get the psychological help together with metabolic support. Okay, this makes the results better to achieve. Okay, and it makes sense. Eh? All right, we're talking about the marathon, and I compare the life to a marathon. And really, it is the rat race, especially in the Western countries, the competition. So it's like we are engaged in a marathon every day. But this picture, it is from a marathon race in Bordeaux, near Bordeaux. And if you notice, everybody is dressed in a different costume. So they make the marathon a happy and joyful event, although you have to put on the effort to complete the marathon. And this is what I think about life also. Of course, there are stressful moments, and not everything is pink, rosy. But okay, if you have a different attitude, okay, you can prevent, even avoid burnout. Okay, this is a picture that I took of myself in a museum in Bordeaux. Very good museum, by the way. And this is the skull of a Cro-Magnon, a copy. And this is to document that life always has difficulties. The Cro-Magnons were here about 40,000 years ago, but they survived, and we are their descendants. So we are a very resilient species. There is, of course, hope. Okay. And to close this presentation, that I hope it's useful for you, with my messages that I'm going to repeat to make sure that you can benefit from this presentation. Okay, everybody is susceptible to burnout. Don't think of people in burnout as weak or vulnerable people. No, everybody, because it's like a race. Everybody gets tired. Okay, and that has a psychological and a metabolic impact. Also, very, very important, you can be in burnout and you're not aware of it. You have symptoms, but you don't recognize it because you attribute those symptoms to something else. This is why burnout is always a neurometabolic problem. I think I made that quite clear. Prevention, very important, and coaching. Okay, having a coach is not like the same the same problem as going to a psychiatrist or something like that. I mean, it's like if you are an athlete, you are competing in life. You are competing with so many other people, and a little support that can take you a long way. Finally, to leave you with a metaphor. Okay, you change your glasses, you have a different perspective on life. So if you digest this information, your perspective changes. Okay, you can also look at life in a completely different way. Okay, thank you for listening, and get well. Okay.